As the clock strikes midnight on New Year's Eve, something profound unfolds, an unspoken truth that transcends the fireworks and celebrations. For most, it is just another year turning, but for the chosen ones, it is a signal, a cosmic invitation to awaken, to rise, to embrace the rare and fleeting opportunity for rebirth. This moment, right here, isn't merely a marker of time, it's an ancient portal, vibrating with possibilities. Do you feel it? That pull in your soul, urging you to pause, to listen beyond the noise. The new year is not just a date, it is a ritual encoded in time, a divine rhythm gifted to humanity. Think about it. Why do we instinctively reflect during this time? Why do we resolve to change, to become better versions of ourselves? It's as if the universe whispers, this is your moment to align with the sacred flow of existence. But here's the thing, not everyone listens. The majority move through the motions, swept away by trivialities. Only the chosen ones, those attuned to this frequency, can grasp the enormity of this opportunity. Have you ever asked yourself, why me? Why do I feel this yearning for something greater? It is because you are chosen not by random chance, but by the convergence of your actions, your intentions, and your readiness to step into your divine purpose. And the new year? It's the catalyst, the spark that ignites your transformation. But here lies the challenge. How do we seize this moment? How do we ensure that we don't squander it like so many others do year after year? The answer begins with awareness. Take a breath and sit with this truth. This is not about resolutions, this is about revolution. A revolution of your spirit, your habits, your choices. We must start with clarity. The world is chaotic, constantly pulling you in 1,000 directions. But on this night, as the world erupts in celebration, you are invited to retreat into stillness. Can you carve out space to hear the whispers of your soul? Light a candle. Close your eyes. Ask yourself the deepest question of all: what is calling me in this season of my life? Don't rush for answers. Sit in the question. The chosen ones are not afraid to dwell in the unknown.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lessons.
As you reflect, you might uncover fears of failing, of not being enough, of repeating past mistakes. These fears are not your enemy, they are your guides. Lean into them. Ask yourself, what lesson is this fear here to teach me? The chosen ones do not run from discomfort, they embrace it, knowing it holds the key to their growth. And when you face those fears, let them go. Write them down on paper and burn them. Release their grip over you. This act is not just symbolic, it is spiritual alchemy, a declaration to the universe that you are ready to shed the old skin and step boldly into the new. But transformation is not a single act, it is a process. It requires discipline, courage, and an unwavering commitment to your path. In this sacred transition, the question becomes, what am I willing to commit to? Not for a day or a week, but for my soul's highest purpose. Every moment holds the potential to shift your life, but the first moments of a new year are supercharged with energy. It's like the universe handing you a blank page, a fresh start with your name at the top. How you write on it is entirely up to you. Think about the patterns you've lived through this past year. Were they chosen, or were they default settings you've been running on without realizing? This is the moment to design your life consciously, like an artist deciding every brushstroke. So, what does it mean to create a blueprint for a year that aligns with your highest self? Start by understanding that time is not linear. The new year is a cycle, a spiral, inviting you to rise to the next level of your being. And like any blueprint, it starts with a clear foundation. Strip away the noise. What truly matters to you? What's the one thing you know you've been avoiding but can no longer ignore? Most people mistake goals for clarity. They set targets like losing weight or making more money, but these are surface level. What drives those desires? Beneath every external goal lies a deeper internal hunger. The chosen ones know this. They focus on the root, not just the branches. For example, wanting financial freedom might actually stem from a desire for security or to live without fear. Understanding this transforms your intention into something powerful, something real. But clarity alone is not enough. A blueprint needs action, consistent, disciplined action. If you've ever set resolutions and abandoned them by February, you've experienced the gap between knowing and doing. Why does this happen? Because change is hardwired into our brains, but resistance is just as strong. The chosen ones aren't immune to this struggle, they've simply found ways to overcome it. Here's a simple truth: success is built on micro actions. Forget massive leaps. Focus on one small, deliberate step each day. If you want to strengthen your body, it's not about running a marathon on January 2nd. It's about putting on your shoes and walking outside today. If you want deeper relationships, it's not about grand gestures. It's about taking 5 minutes to genuinely connect with someone right now. Now, here's where the magic happens. Pair these micro actions with rituals. Rituals are powerful because they anchor your intentions into reality. They turn abstract goals into tangible habits. But a ritual doesn't need to be complex. A morning routine where you set an intention for the day is a ritual. Drinking a glass of water with gratitude is a ritual. Done consistently, these small acts shift your energy and set the tone for everything else. And let's not forget the people in your life. Who are the ones lifting you higher? And who are the ones holding you back? This isn't about judgment, it's about alignment. Every person in your circle is either helping you build your blueprint or subtly dismantling it. Take a hard look at your relationships. Are you surrounding yourself with people who inspire you to grow, or are you staying comfortable in environments that keep you stuck? Let's go deeper. How do you measure success? If you think it's about external achievements, you're setting yourself up for an empty year. True success is about alignment, living each day in a way that feels right, even if no one else notices. Are you making choices that align with your values, or are you chasing things that society tells you are important? Imagine reaching the end of this year and feeling like you lived authentically, without regrets. What would that look like for you? A new year doesn't magically bring change. It hands you potential, raw and untamed, and leaves the rest up to you. But let's be honest, energy fades. Motivation wanes. People start strong in January, and by March they're back in their old routines. What makes the chosen ones different? How do they hold onto the fire long enough to see real transformation? It starts with understanding energy itself. Energy isn't just physical or mental, it's spiritual. It's what fuels every decision you make, every action you take. The problem is, most people spend energy on things that drain them instead of things that expand them. Look at your daily life. Are you constantly reacting to things that don't matter? Are you scrolling, arguing, procrastinating? Every moment you spend on distractions is energy stolen from your purpose. To stay aligned, you have to protect your energy fiercely. This means setting boundaries not just with others, but with yourself. Think of your time and attention as sacred. Would you waste something sacred on meaningless distractions? Probably not. Yet we do it every day. If you're serious about making this year different, start cutting away what doesn't serve you. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. But clearing space is just the first step. What you do with that space matters even more. Energy grows when it's focused. This is why rituals and routines are so important. They channel your energy toward what matters most. The chosen ones know this consistency beats intensity. It's better to show up every day, even in small ways, than to burn out after a burst of enthusiasm. The biggest obstacle is often resistance. Resistance shows up as excuses, distractions, even fatigue. It's that voice in your head saying, skip today, you can start again tomorrow, but resistance is also a signal. It means you're on the edge of something important. The chosen ones don't avoid resistance. They lean into it. They ask, what is this trying to teach me? Now let's talk about the inevitable challenges. This year will test you. It always does. But every challenge contains energy if you know how to harness it. Think of obstacles as weights in the gym. They feel heavy, but they make you stronger. The difference is in how you approach them. Do you see challenges as proof that you're failing, or do you see them as tools for growth? When the hard days come, and you'll need more than motivation. Motivation is fleeting. What you need is purpose. Purpose is what keeps you moving when nothing else can. It's what gets you out of bed when the excitement is gone. If you don't have clarity on your purpose yet, that's fine. Start by focusing on what feels meaningful in this moment. Purpose grows when you show up for it. And don't underestimate the power of reflection. At the end of each day, take a few moments to look back. What went well? Where did you lose focus? What could you improve tomorrow? This isn't about being hard on yourself. It's about learning and growing one day at a time. When you make reflection a habit, you become unstoppable. Finally, remember that you're not in this alone. The chosen ones are part of a larger tapestry. Somewhere right now, someone is walking a similar path. Someone is struggling through the same challenges, feeling the same doubts, chasing the same light. When you show up fully, you inspire others to do the same. Your growth isn't just for you, it's for everyone you'll touch this year, whether you realize it or not. As this year unfolds, stay present. Don't wait for some grand moment to feel like you've made it. The magic is in the small, consistent steps. It's in the quiet victories no one sees. It's in the days you want to quit but choose to keep going. This is your year, not because it's handed to you, but because you're claiming it. The truth is, most people talk about change, but few are willing to live it. Talking feels good. It feels like movement. But words without action are like smoke. They disappear without leaving anything behind. If you're serious about making this year different, the decision isn't made in your head. It's made in the small, unremarkable moments when no one is watching. When you wake up tomorrow, what will you do differently? Not in some abstract, distant future, but tomorrow. What's one thing that you've been putting off because it's inconvenient or uncomfortable? The way you respond to that question is the dividing line between staying the same and stepping into the life you've been waiting for. Let's be real for a moment. Most people don't fail because they lack talent or opportunity. They fail because they keep waiting for the perfect time, waiting until they feel ready, waiting for the stars to align. Here's the harsh truth: you will never feel ready. Growth is messy, uncertain, and uncomfortable. If you're waiting for some magical sign to get started, take this as your sign. What's holding you back isn't outside of you, it's inside. It's the doubt, the hesitation, the fear of what happens if you actually commit. But think about it, isn't staying where you are even scarier? Imagine being in the same place a year from now, looking back and realizing you let another year slip by. Is that really what you want? Now, let's talk about momentum. Momentum isn't something you wait for, it's something you create. It starts with one small action, no matter how insignificant it seems. That one action leads to another, and then another. Over time, those small actions compound into something massive. The key is to start, even if you don't feel like it. Especially when you don't feel like it. Discipline is another word people shy away from, but it's the foundation of anything worthwhile. Discipline doesn't mean being rigid or beating yourself up when things don't go perfectly. It means showing up consistently, even when you're not in the mood. Think of discipline as self-respect in action. If you respect yourself and your vision, you'll do the hard things not because you have to, but because you deserve the outcome they bring. There's another layer to this trust. Not trust in some external force, but trust in yourself. Trust that you can handle the challenges. Trust that you're capable of more than you've shown so far. Every time you follow through on a promise to yourself, you build that trust. And when you trust yourself, nothing feels impossible. Let's address the inevitable setbacks. They're coming, and that's not a bad thing. In fact, setbacks are the best teachers. They reveal your blind spots, the areas where you still need to grow. The key is not avoiding failure, but learning how to use it. Instead of seeing setbacks as proof that you can't do something, see them as feedback. What isn't working? What needs to change? Adjust, adapt, and move forward. And don't underestimate the power of gratitude. It's not just some feel-good concept, it's fuel. When you focus on what you already have, you shift your mindset from scarcity to abundance. That shift changes everything. It makes you more creative, more resilient, and more open to opportunities. Every morning, before the chaos of the day begins, take a moment to recognize what's going right in your life. It will give you the energy to tackle what's not. Lastly, let's talk about connection. No one succeeds in isolation. The people you surround yourself with will either push you forward or pull you back. Be intentional about your relationships. Find people who challenge you, who believe in you, who are committed to growth in their own lives. And just as important, be that person for others. The energy you give is the energy you attract. This year isn't going to be perfect. It's going to be real. There will be highs and lows, wins and losses, moments of doubt and moments of clarity. But in the end, it's not about perfection. It's about progress. It's about choosing, day after day, to live in alignment with the person you know you're meant to be. There's a moment in life when things click, not because the circumstances around you suddenly align, but because you decide they will. That's the power of a real choice. It's not wishful thinking or hoping things will get better. It's cutting off every other option, except the one where you rise. The new year is your stage, and the decisions you make now will echo through the months ahead. Think of it like planting seeds. You don't see the harvest immediately, but the work you do in the soil, the daily watering, the commitment to the process determines whether you'll stand in a barren field or a thriving garden come December. Momentum is built in those small, quiet decisions. When you choose to start your day with purpose instead of scrolling through your phone. When you decide to spend an hour on something that moves you forward instead of something that distracts you. These choices don't feel dramatic in the moment, but they compound. And just like interest in a bank account, that compounding is what leads to transformation. But let's talk about the days when the energy isn't there. When you wake up and feel like everything is heavier than it should be. These are the days that define you. The easy days don't test your character, the hard ones do. So what do? You stop making it about how you feel and start making it about what needs to be done. Feelings come and go, but discipline creates results. This year isn't going to reward your intentions. It's going to reward your actions. The people who move forward in life aren't the ones who wait to feel motivated. They're the ones who keep moving even when they don't. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. The act of showing up, even when you don't want to, sends a message to your mind this matters. But let's not stop there. Growth isn't just about doing, it's about becoming. Who do you want to be at the end of this year? What qualities do you want to embody? This isn't about achievements, it's about identity. If you see yourself as someone who is disciplined, compassionate, strong, and resilient, your actions will naturally flow from that identity. And this brings us to a critical piece: alignment. If your actions don't match your values, no amount of effort will bring you peace. Success without alignment feels hollow. So take a moment to check in with yourself. Are you chasing goals that truly matter to you, or are you chasing what others expect of you? The chosen ones live by a different compass. They measure success not by how much they achieve, but by how closely they live to their truth. And truth isn't complicated. It's usually quiet, simple, and already inside you. The challenge is clearing away the noise to hear it. Let's also talk about setbacks, those moments when things don't go as planned. Most people use setbacks as a reason to quit. The chosen ones see them as recalibration points. When something goes wrong, it's not a failure, it's feedback. What needs adjusting? What wasn't working? The only real failure is stopping altogether. And let's not forget gratitude. Gratitude isn't just about appreciating what you have, it's about recognizing the opportunities in front of you. Every challenge, every difficulty, every step forward is a gift if you're willing to see it that way. Gratitude shifts your energy. It doesn't just make you feel good, it makes you powerful. Finally, remember this: no one is coming to save you. No magical moment, no external force, no perfect time is going to appear and make everything fall into place. It's you. It's always been you. And the moment you truly accept that, everything changes. Because when you stop waiting, you start creating. This year is yours to shape, not because it's handed to you on a silver platter, but because you have the power to make it what you want it to be. The question isn't whether you'll face challenges. You will. The question is whether you'll rise to meet them. So here we are, the start of a year filled with infinite possibilities. The choice is simple. Will you make this the year where everything changes, or will it be another chapter in the same story? It's up to you. It's always been up to you.